It began when the world was still half asleep, not with screens, not with fire, but with silence. Hospitals were the first to notice. Heart monitors screamed into flat lines, but the bodies, they didn't stop breathing. Nurses pulled life support. Surgeons closed open chests. But the patients simply stared. Silent. Aware, dying had paused. In homes, the elderly collapsed, hands gripping their chests, their mouths twisted in silent agony, but they remained trapped. Eyes pleading, but breaths continuing. By noon, fear had swallowed the news. Anchors trembled on live broadcasts, global and unexplained, they stuttered. A few called it a miracle, but miracles don't cry. Miracles don't rot. By dusk, the world changed. A man threw himself from a rooftop downtown. Bones cracked, spine twisted like a broken tree limb, and he screamed for hours. He begged to die. But the end never came. A woman was caught in a house fire. Her skin blackened and peeled, but her eyes blinked slowly through ash, mouthing a silent, desperate why. In my town, little Daniel Henderson drowned in the creek behind the school. They found him hours later, waterlogged, stiff, dead. But at midnight, he sat up, pale, shivering, smiling. The town went quiet. Doors were bolted, curtains drawn. But curiosity is a cruel curse. People began to test it. By nightfall, they tried knives, guns, poison, from mercy or madness. But death had left. Flesh tore, skulls cracked, but life stayed. And inside every broken body, eyes moved. Watching, I found my father slumped in his chair. A stroke had twisted his face into something monstrous. One eye blinked. One hand trembled, reaching for mine. He squeezed. Once, I understood what he wanted, but I couldn't give it to him. The horror wasn't in the wounds. It was in the eyes, pleading, screaming, begging, all from faces that could no longer speak. Phones stopped working just past 3 a.m. The sky tore open moments later. No sound. Just cracks across the heavens like shattered glass, spider webbing into the void, and then they arrived. Tall, unnatural silhouettes, cloaked in pulsing shadow. They moved without walking, slid through walls, hovered above ground. Faces smooth and blank, except for glowing holes where eyes should be. They stared at you, not at your body. But through it, death had been stolen for a day. Now they were here to balance the scales. They opened holes in the earth, black, gaping wounds that moaned like something breathing beneath. One by one, they dragged the half-dead inside. Screaming mouths, clawing hands. No one resisted. They couldn't. I hid in my attic. Through the cracked slats, I watched my mother, only half of her face left, being lifted by one of them. She vanished into the shadows. Gone, by sunrise. The world was hollow, no footsteps, no birds, no wind, just stillness, and then I saw it. In the town square, nailed to the tree where we once hung Christmas lights, was a note. Old parchment. Ink that smelled like rust and rot, payment accepted. Never try that again. Beneath that, scratched in something darker than ink, death is mercy. Now, I'm alone, the power's long gone. Food ran out days ago. I haven't seen another human being since that night, but every evening, as the shadows stretch and the sun bleeds away, I hear them again, moving, whispering, waiting. They're not done, they're only resting. Thank you so much for watching. If this story gave you chills or touched your heart, Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for more stories.